me, challenge is needed, stress is needed to enable you to grow and to move beyond where you are now. Yeah, comfort zone's comfortable, isn't it? It's easy to sit into a rhythm of just maintaining where it is that you are now. But generally, I don't like to be in my comfort zone. I find it incredibly tedious on a day-to-day basis because there tends to be very little challenge. So if you imagine an archer's bow, a lot of people will consider that bow to be a deadly weapon, but actually it's just a piece of wood with some string or other attached to it. It's not doing anything, it's just a static object, and it's not until you put some stress into that bow that the bow actually then becomes a deadly weapon. And I like to think that life is a bit like that bow. If you're not stressing yourself or exposing yourself to things or elements outside of your comfort zone, then you're just going to be this static bow, never really realizing your full potential. And it's only when you're exposed to stress that you actually become that deadly weapon. My name is Dave Henson. I'm a business development engineer at Imperial College in London. But before this, I was a Paralympic athlete, and before that, I was a captain in the Royal Engineers in the British Army. I joined the Army in 2008 and deployed to Afghanistan in October 2010. I was in charge of a Royal Engineer search team, and it was our responsibility to go out and find improvised explosive devices. I did this job for about 4 months before, on February the 13th in 2011, I stepped on an IED, an improvised explosive device that we hadn't found, which ended up in me losing both of my legs. Left leg I lost through the knee joint, and the right leg I lost above the knee joint. Yeah, I think there are probably a few little tidbits of information or advice that I can probably distribute now, nearly 10 years on from becoming an amputee myself. And the first is in the physical sense. No matter what prosthetics you wear, the stronger and the fitter you are, especially around the hips, whether you're a below knee amputee or an above knee amputee, the easier your life is going to be. So that's lesson number one: get as strong as you possibly can around the hips and as a result around the core, and that will make everything easier from a physical perspective. Number two, rehabilitation is not a finite process. There is no start nor end to your rehabilitation. Just because you may not be actively involved with a physiotherapist or a rehabilitation centre, that doesn't mean that your rehab is complete. Unfortunately, as an amputee, rehab is going to be a lifelong activity that you have to pursue. So you need to make sure that you maintain your physical robustness as best as possible.